So the last year has been a massive human experiment where all of us have been working remotely due to the pandemic and finding a different slice of balance in our lives between our work and our home. Now, plants, especially indoor plants and cats, obviously aren't all included for everyone, but life has been a bit different. Now, for some of us, that has given us opportunities to spend more time with family, time that we would have never had got previously before the pandemic. But for others, it's been a difficult time. It's been quite enclosed and feeling disconnected from the world. So there's been different experiences across the board. Now the vaccine has landed in multiple countries, and with more of us becoming vaccinated, it's now leading to the next phase of this little experiment where what is the future of work now? And what does working look like now we've gone through this very odd experiment of remote working for the last 12 to 14 months. There's a lot of debate around what this will look like. Now, some, like the chap on your screen here, who is the CEO of Goldman Sachs, which is David Solomon, thinks that working from home or remote working in general is terrible and everyone should come back to the office. Just like Jack here, he's insistent that we have to go back. Whereas others, like Spotify, Twitter, and Salesforce are all in with remote work. But what is the optimal approach? What is the best thing that we can do that's going to balance the lessons that we've learned over the last 14 months and allow us to design a better way of living? Now, what can the data tell us? So Buffer, the social media management tool, actually conducted quite a bit of a good survey into the remote working experiment over the last year. And this is what they found. So people responded in saying that 99% prior to COVID would like to work remotely at least some of the time in their career. They also found that people were saying some of the biggest benefits they saw to working remotely was having the ability to have a flexible schedule and the flexibility to work from anywhere, and really importantly, not having that dreaded commute that most of us have. Exactly, Spock. This is very fascinating. So what else can we look at? So FlexJobs, who have done a lot of data as well, found a number of things in some research that they had done in late 2020. So from their research, they 75% work remotely because there are fewer distractions for them. 76% would be more willing to stay with their current employer if they could work flexible hours, which is really important from a talent attraction perspective. And 86% felt that working remotely really reduces their stress. So some really strong data here to actually show that it may be that people are more focused and more happier being at home. And a lot of this data is what led companies to double down on the approach of remote working and why it has become so popular with companies like Spotify, Twitter, and Salesforce really pushing this approach. Yet, some companies are reconsidering, especially in the big tech space. Now, a prime example of this is Google. Back in late 2020, Google came out and made their position to say that Google staff won't be returning back into the office until at least September 2021. And even then, they expected a great deal of that to still be remote working. However, this has all recently changed, and very quickly. So Google has recently come out to say that they want workers to return to the office way ahead of their schedule, and in something that media outlets are calling a blow to the remote work trend. Now, back in 2020, Google CEO basically came out and said they want to give employees the ability to plan ahead, so they're going to extend their scheme June 2021, and they will continue that and probably be looking to work more flexibly over the next 12 months. Still keeping it open, but being really clear that what they expected is for the better part of 2021, regardless of vaccine or whatever's going to happen, they did expect people to be working remotely. However, as I said, that all changed. So very recently, in April 2021, Google actually performed a complete U-turn and pushback to remote work. So Google had come up with a new stance where they basically told their employees that anyone that wants to work remotely after September 1st for more than 14 days per year would have to formally apply for it with their line manager and HR team. And they can also only apply for up to 12 months in the most exceptional circumstances, which is crazy because that's really a slap in the face of where they come out before, and especially from someone in the big tech industry. And what's even worse is that they told employees that they must live close to the office in a commutable distance. I mean, come on, Google. Really? We want to treat people like adults here, and you think that's the way to go? And as I said, it's the complete opposite to companies like Salesforce and Spotify, who've been really vocal and come out on their websites to showcase what they're actually doing to change the workplace and make it work from anywhere for everyone. What does this all mean? Are we going to go back to the old ways where we're all crammed into big metal tubes, commuting out of big cities, and what's generally not been great for people's mental health and physical well-being, and we have seen in data already? Or are people going to stand? Are they going to fight and look for a revolution in terms of the way we work and the future of that? People will want their freedom, and I really think they're going to vote with their feet to maintain that freedom that they now have. But ultimately, it's not yet known what's going to happen. If we go on what the data tells us, people don't want to give up what they've experienced, and that's completely understandable, especially considering people have had different experiences all throughout this time. But a lot of it has pointed to positives. But no matter what happens, companies are gonna need to find a new way to evolve the way they work, or risk losing current people and not being able to attract future talent to do what they do best.